Welcome back to First Take. Last day of 2025. Let's discuss our biggest surprise team so far this season. Peter Schrager, you're up first.
I'm going to say Jacksonville Jaguars. New head coach, new general manager. One of them's 38 years old, the other one's 34 years old, and they're taking a team that has had no success in recent years, and suddenly they're playing for a division title. Jacksonville Jaguars, nobody saw them being the 3 seed in the AFC before the season started.
Good one.
I'm going to take the Patriots. Before the year began in Vegas, their number was about 8.5. They're going to win 14 games. We all knew that they were going to be dangerous. Vrabel, new coach. May showed some signs last year, but nobody thought they'd be the 2 seed with a chance to be the 1 seed going into Week 18. So I will say New England with the jump to 14 and going 14-3. That would be the biggest surprise to me.
Okay, Swagu.
Chicago Bears, ahead of schedule. We wanted to see how good of a head coach Ben Johnson would be, and could that spill over into the development of Caleb Williams? Well, we got our answer with that. This is a playoff team this year. I don't know if a lot of people expected that. They've done a good job in the front office with Ryan Poles as well. The Chicago Bears are now at the foot of becoming a team to be reckoned with in the NFC, and it's because not only the decisions that they've made, but we see the most important relationship, head coach, quarterback, and the development that has taken place.
I'm with you, Swagu. It's nice to feel like I finally trust my hometown team. I'm actually going to go a little negative with this, and I'm going to go the Kansas City Chiefs. Are we kidding? This is a team that was in the Super Bowl last year, is a perennial powerhouse. The last time we saw them have 10 losses in a season was 2012. We are not accustomed to seeing this team lose at a very high rate, having no answers, as Travis Kelce said. We have no idea what they're going to look like next year if Travis Kelce decides to move on. We have the health now of Patrick Mahomes in question. So for me, the Chiefs and the way they just came out looking nothing like themselves was definitely the biggest surprise so far this year. How about the coaching side of things? Traeger, I hear you have something with that.
I got a bit of a quick take. You know, whereas the NFL MVP debate is all the rage right now, I am far more interested in the NFL Coach of the Year voting. It is the most open, wide open year I can remember. You've got 2 first-year coaches, Ben Johnson and Liam Cohen, who have taken moribund franchises with young quarterbacks from losers to winners in just a matter of months. And then there's Mike Vrabel, who returned home to New England and took a team that had a top 5 pick a year ago into a division winner for the first time in 6 years. Oh, but what about Kyle Shanahan? Shanahan is a win away from winning the NFC West and securing the number 1 seed despite losing his top 2 defensive players, his quarterback for half the season, and his top receiver being nowhere near the playing field all season. I think Sean Payton has an argument in Denver saying, look what we're doing with the Russell Wilson salary cap, the albatross still there. And oh, by the way, Mike McDonald is a win away in Seattle from having a 1 seed in just his 2nd year as the head coach. That's years. Oh, but what about Kyle Shanahan? Shanahan is a win away from winning the NFC West and securing the number 1 seed despite losing his top 2 defensive players, his quarterback for half the season, and his top receiver being nowhere near the playing field all season. I think Sean Payton has an argument in Denver saying, look what we're doing with the Russell Wilson salary cap, the albatross still there. And oh, by the way, Mike McDonald is a win away in Seattle from having a 1 seed in just his 2nd year as the head coach. That is about a quarter of the coaches in the league. 8 of them. Pick any one of those guys, and you won't be wrong making an argument for Coach of the Year.
It's a really good point, Traeger. And you listed out some I hadn't even thought about. I really wasn't even thinking about guys like Mike McDonald, who is doing such a remarkable job in Seattle. Swagu, after hearing all of that, who would you pick as Coach of the Year?
Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan, and we already hold Kyle Shanahan in high regard, but the attrition that is taking place on this football team costs coaches their jobs sometimes and seasons. You think about Brock Purdy being out. He got Mac Jones playing at a very high level in the games that he needed to. Won some games that we didn't expect him to win with Mac Jones being the backup. Mac also played phenomenal. So you talk about the development of that position. You think about, Schrags mentioned it, Fred Warner, arguably the best defensive player in the league when he's on the field. Bosa out. You lose Michael Williams, the first-round draft pick that you take. No pass rush. We talked about the defense, which is why I fear for this team going forward. You think about George Kittle missing time, Brock Purdy missing time, Trent Williams missing time, Brandon Ayuk not showing up. You go with Ricky Pearsall. You have receivers that you're playing with right now that are really good players, but this is not the picture of what we thought the San Francisco 49ers would be at all. And he's done a phenomenal job not only controlling what he could control, but we never heard him talk about what they lack. He's only manufactured the opportunity to be the #1 seed in the NFC, where the Super Bowl will be played in San Francisco as well, with all that has been lost on this team. I think Kyle Shanahan has done an immaculate job with having this team where they are right now with what they've suffered and lost.
I could go anywhere you want. He's done a great job.
Yeah.
And Shanahan's not. I don't think he's going to win because it's the culture of San Francisco. They win a lot, but he is a great football coach. Got to win a Super Bowl, but he lost 2 to Mahomes. He's a great coach. I'm going to go Vrabel only because of the fact they have had such an incredible jump. He's done a hell of a job. I know their schedule's easy. I know the division. The Jets are horrendous. They played the Saints. They played Tennessee. I get all that. But they're going to go 14-3. They're going to beat Miami this week. They probably will not get the 1 seed. They'll be the 2 seed. They're going to get 2 home games. You know, you got a raw deal in Tennessee. They've been sort of they've been in the wilderness there for a couple of years. The last year or so, Belichick, and of course with Mayo. I think Vrabel's going to win, and I probably would vote for him, Coach of the Year.
I think if Kyle Shanahan wins on Saturday night in another primetime game in front of everybody and with all the injuries they've been dealing with, I think I'm with Swagu with Kyle Shanahan. If Seattle wins, I don't think it's going to be Mike McDonald. If Seattle wins, I honestly think Ben Johnson is going to be your NFL Coach of the Year. You think about that city, that market, that division, and all of the hype and all of the expectations for Ben Johnson. He's exceeded them this year. You know, he came in with a little bravado, too. Remember at his press conference, he said he can't wait to play Matt LaFleur 2 times. He said he's looking forward to playing the Lions. And after that Week 2 loss to the Lions, they were 0-2. And everyone was saying, oh, Dan Campbell just stepped on his throat and showed him who's boss. He's the boss in the NFC North right now. The Chicago Bears have had an unbelievable season. And we know no quarterback's ever thrown for 4,000 yards in Chicago. And maybe Caleb does it, maybe he doesn't. It's a meaningless game this week, really. I mean, seedings, but it's not for the division necessarily against the Lions. That said, if he can get Caleb Williams in year 2 to go throw for 4,000 yards as a quarterback for the Chicago Bears and then be a 2 seed in the NFC in year number 1, it's hard not to make the argument for Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, also a first-year head coach. You forget, right? Like guys like Vrabel and Shanahan have been doing this for a really long time, have been in this position. They understand how to be a head coach.
That's a great
Ben
point,
Johnson, this is relatively, not relative, it is.
And in that market,
New for him.
That market, which is so critical and so tough, to actually have a ray of optimism and then be liking football, that's huge.
Yeah, and a different kind of football DNA in Chicago right now. We're not used to the offense ever being ahead of the defense, and that is definitely what it seems like now in the Windy City. Coming up here on First Take, NFL draft stock on the line in the CFP quarterfinals. Which quarterback has the best chance to rise and to fall? Josh Pate will join us for that conversation. Plus, the Cowboys did not end the year as they were hoping. With their elimination from playoff contention, of course, what New Year's resolution do the Cowboys need to get things turned around for next year? We'll discuss next.